Hello, it's Monday, and that means it's time for Chili Chunn, where we're going to dive into yet another spicy product on the quest for chili enlightenment. But this is no ordinary spicy product, because this comes from just a near and dear, one of the OG members of the Chili Chunn slash Chunn TV slash Good Ass Feed family, and that's Roy Graham. And Roy Graham, he's been hanging around on the channel for years now, and he's one of the coolest dudes you ever run across. He's the nicest guy, but all that niceness, like when he gets ready to send you something, he sends some of the most blisteringly hot stuff I've ever eaten in my life. From the jigsaw powder he sent to the Burning Wolf tincture, which I believe was Carolina Reaper tincture he made. And then here we have a homemade hot sauce from Roy, including a note that says, "Hey bro, hope you enjoy. This is Chili Head Hot. Use wisely." It's funny because like, over the last few videos, he's posted warnings multiple times. I'm really genuinely like horrified at this point. I'd still like to taste it with Emily, but I really thought maybe I should fill it out first, just in case this is the last video. It says it's made from fresh ingredients, refrigerated after opening. Take care, bro, and enjoy. Your friend Roy. Thanks, man. And dude, seriously, I appreciate you sending this, man. Like, I really get a kick out of anything where the return address says Roy Graham, because it's going to be exhilarating and it'll bring you closer to chili enlightenment than most things. So he sent me a message with the ingredients. So I'll read you off the ingredients here. Carolina Reapers, smoked bhut jolokias, ghost peppers, scorpion peppers, scotch bonnets, habaneros, serranos, cayenne, and jalapenos. Those are, okay, tomatoes, garlic, onions, and red wine vinegar. Enjoy. Not joking when I said it's a 4.5 out of 5. All right, and I'm concerned because I think a 4.5 out of 5 for that man is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like a 13 or 14 out of 10 on my scale. I'm but a mere mortal seeking chili enlightenment like anybody else. I don't know how many people actually do this, but I'm certainly doing it. So yeah, what we have is a pretty, it looks a little bit like a good salsa, but it's got like a little bit of a terracotta color to it. And it's a little on the looser side, but it has a nice velvety consistency. And you can see also, yeah, it's actually pretty homogeneous for as much pepper content as there seems to be, according to the ingredients, but you do catch the seeds in view here in little flakes of stuff. Still sealed. I'm gonna pop it for the first time. Don't get any under my fingernails. That would suck. All right. Behold. A sauce from the man, Roy Graham. Actually, I'm going to give it a little shake. I'm going to give it a shake real quick. Because this is, this little jar has been, holy crap, dude. I just caught a whiff of it. And it's pretty potent. I didn't even really get my nose down there. Okay, now we got it good and shaken. Careful. I should have brought a napkin. I always forget. It does. Oh, good almighty. It's got a nice little wiggle. I'm scared to, you can't really see it, but it's a little bit almost ketchup-y in texture. Not the color. The color is a little more maroon or like a terracotta, like I was saying, like a touch of brown. And it has a nice aroma. Like it's got that. So super hots have this like it's floral, but not like it's slightly floral, slightly bitter smell that goes along with the aroma of the pepper. And this has like a lot of that, like what I consider to be a warning smell. It's like, hey bro, like if you smell this and you put it in your mouth, you're gonna have a bad time. And this, but once you get through that, what I get is the smoked ghost peppers, because ghost peppers have this like kind of muskiness and smokiness to them anyway. And I find when you smoke them, it really like sets off that flavor. And so what I'm getting out of hot sauce is you got to take a few whiffs because your body's so busy caught up being scared crapless that it's not going to let you really pick it up for a minute. But if you keep doing it and try to trick yourself into thinking this is not a bad idea, then you start to get like the, it's got the savory undertones in the background, but the star of the show is that smoked ghost pepper. And then you get that hint of the red wine vinegar. And that's one of my favorite vinegars. And I find it makes a hell of a good like beef marinade or like beef fajita, like really good with red wine vinegar. Yeah, so, okay. I'm going to take your advice, Roy. I'm 37 years old. I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm going to do a light dab and just find out what this is about. Because I feel like I'm going to get plenty. But there's just this time in your life as a chili-headed, and it's a moment that I think far too few people have had, probably, where you come to understand Roy Graham through his food communications. And if he tells you something's hot, it's going to be like a life-altering, spirit journey type of experience. So, yeah, without further ado, we're going to dive into a homemade smoked ghost pepper sauce from the man, Roy Graham. Thank you again, dude. Really, I appreciate it, dude. Thanks for all your friendship over the years and being part of the channel. And thanks for the cool crap you send sometimes. Really appreciate it, dude. And y'all say a shout out to Roy in the comments too, because, well, hopefully I'll give you a reason in a second. It does smell nice. Cheers, YouTube. I'm stalling. I admit it. I'm horrified. Oh. That smoky ghost pepper is actually really nice. And it has a hint of sweetness to it at the beginning. There's a little sweetness, and then you get like the Imperial music from Star Wars starts to play in the back of your throat. And now I see. Now, yeah. Now I see that this is going to be a little bit of an experience. So it's mostly actually like on the upper roof of my mouth and the back of my throat a little bit. And the nice thing about the ghost pepperoni is that it really stays with you. Like ghost peppers, their aroma lasts. And so, because there's some peppers where, you get like a hit of flavor and then it's just pain. Ghost peppers give you something to go with the pain. And I also find the ghost pepper burn to be strangely more manageable over time. I mean, if you go straight on to ghost pepper, it ain't gonna be manageable at all. But compared to Reapers, 7-Pot Primos, some of the more like Moruga scorpions or scorpions in general, compared to some of the more like vicious, violent super hots, like ghost peppers are downright friendly. It's like a nice stroll through an intense burn. And this one actually, it really got the roof of my mouth a lot. I'm gonna dive back in a little more. Get a glimpse of the flavor again. It does. A little hit of sweetness at the beginning. And it kind of goes nicely with the chili pepper taste. And you get the fruitiness, I think, from the Reapers have a little hint of a fruity aroma. Fruity is maybe a stretch. And I know folks that aren't super into like peppers, they hear people say something and they're like, whatever. But seriously, like, as you acclimate to it, it doesn't make it hurt any less, I don't think. Like, it still hurts plenty. But it's more that you're not distracted by that stuff anymore, or at least your senses are a little more privy to what's going on, and so you can pick up more of it. But I gotta say, Roy, I was on my finger. It's tasty. I like it. I could, due to the heat, I couldn't really see putting it on a lot of stuff, but I bet you can make a hell of a steak sauce kicked up with this. Because to me, it has a flavor that would go really well with beef, like especially charred beef, because it's got that smokiness, slight bitterness from the, there's contexts where that super hot bitterness works. And I think with beef, that caramelized beef, you get that slight bitter note goes with it, and you get that little bit of fruity hit. I like a good Heinz 57. This reminds me of that a little bit in flavor. But by far the star of the show is that smoked ghost pepper. It's really good. Like I said, I find ghost peppers personally to be a little bit more manageable. So I think the way I look and sound belies the amount of pain I'm in a little bit. But it's mostly like, I'm surprised at how little it's got in my throat. Like, I don't really have much going on here. It's all in my upper roof of my mouth. And the roof of my palate, like my upper palate, is like a nuclear wasteland right now. It's so hot up there. And it's got my sinuses and my tear ducts a little bit. But strangely, it hasn't got my throat or my ears. And I tend to get it there, my ears, more than most places when it's really hot. But it's almost a little horseradish-like, and then I'm mostly up here. But it's still building. I didn't really have very much. But I think the best part about it is that even while I'm sitting here and that heat is rolling, I have that pepper flavor, and the aroma of the smoked ghost pepper. I like that. That's really good. So yeah, Roy, dude, I gotta tell you, it's pretty good, man. And it is hot as all hell. It really is. Like, and I'm glad you warned me, because frankly, if I'd have done my normal spoonful of that, part of that, you know, my reaction is not incredibly dramatic. Part of it's that, because I'm telling you right now, if I had a spoonful of that, I might be on the floor. This is extremely very hot. I'm getting sweaty. I'm starting to tear a little bit. But I came prepared, because I thought, you know, if you're going to have a comically hot sauce, which this is indeed, why not pair it, as I want to do, with a comically large beer? So I've got a big old Foster's. Forgive me, I can't do an Australian. I can do a British accent, okay, but I can't do an Australian. And so I was actually amused to find, I didn't know this, this can of Foster's, I kid you not, is a Texas beer. I know. And it says found in Australia, and they have kind of laid off the marketing a little bit, at least in my area. But it's actually turned just here. Lager beer, brewed and packaged under the supervisions of Foster's brand by Oil Can Breweries in Fort Worth, Texas. This is from Fort Worth. So I'm drinking still Texas beer. I can't avoid it. I wasn't even trying. I didn't know that until after I bought it. I just wanted the comically large can because I was thinking about it. Because these are one I've earlier spoken about, the ice chest Trofo beers in the gas stations. This is one of those I don't really know what to do with, because it's a weird size. So it doesn't often make the trough. It just gets stuck in like an obscure place in the cooler next to the malt liquor. Frankly, I'm amazed they sell any at all. It's not awful. It's fine. I mean, oh my nose. Roy, dude, this is still rolling, man. Like, I'm really glad you warned me. Thank you. I got work tomorrow. It's Sunday as I sit here. It's really good though, but it really hangs with you. Like, this heat has not dropped off even a little. I might say it's actually worse than it was before. It's still building. That's impressive. I actually get genuine tears now, and my ears are starting to go a little bit. And I've been kind of dragging this video out a little bit because I'm waiting for it to stop, and it isn't. This is like a long-term relationship I'm going to have with this level of pain in my mouth. But yeah, at some point, I used to make fun of Foster's because it claimed to be Australian and was actually brewed in Canada, in Toronto. And that was like 10 years ago. And I lost track of Foster's, and I thought, I don't know. I get, like right now, I'm kind of pining for a 40 of Mickey's in like I get sentimental about weird things. And a lot of them are obscure food experiences, like this one. I just really wanted a Foster's. I don't know. So I grabbed one on curbside. And lo and behold, Texas. Yeah. It's fine. I mean, you could do a lot worse. It's about there with like a Budweiser. It's just a little more interesting. And honestly, like, if you roll up to your buddy's house or whatever with 3 or 4 of these, like, that's a conversation starter as you hand out the round of enormous cans of comical fake Australian beer. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I know the brand's Australian. It says it has some imported ingredients in it, but it's just, it's a branding exercise at this point. And that's fine. But I was kind of entertained to find it a bit from Texas, though. Yeah, so I can officially say that the heat is peaked, and the coming of Roy Graham 2020 has been one of the easier things about 2020, and it's really good. So I'm gonna hang on to this because I think I might try to make a kicked up steak sauce with this because I've always wanted to know how to make Heinz 57 anyway. So why not find out together? I might dive into that in the near future. Yeah, thanks for watching. Click subscribe if you haven't already. We do lots of stuff on this channel, including these Chili Chunn spicy product experiences. I also dive into some beers on lots of occasions. And Fridays we tend to hang out and chat about stuff. And I've got a few interesting things coming up that are a little bit different that I'm interested to share with you and see what you think, because they could also be terrible. That was a great sales pitch, wasn't it? Yeah, so stick around, click the bell. You'll be notified every time there's a new piece of content for you to consume on your favorite rectangular electronic internet-enabled smartphone or other device. And click like if you enjoyed this hot sauce tasting video. And like I said, shout out Roy Graham. Hit him up in the comments and just tell him to keep doing his thing. Because dude, that's legit. Like it's really pretty good for that heat level. Frankly, it's not easy to make sauces taste very good up after a certain heat level because they get bitter. And so what I appreciate about that one is it plays into that. And so it actually uses that in its favor, and the flavor kind of works. Whereas a lot of sauces try to bury it. It's an interesting approach, and that intrigues me more to think about the inclusion of like smoke or coffee or other bitter things in super hot sauces as a way to like contextualize the bitterness. And so, yeah. A little ponderous, but that's the endorphins working on me right now because it's not a 5-alarm, but there's been a slow-moving rural fire truck dispatched to just lightly spray endorphins on the roof of my mouth. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. It's mostly starting to taper, but that was a nice marathon burn. And if I'd eaten a whole spoonful of that, that would have been a long and pretty intense experience. But now that I've had it, I think maybe this might need to make another appearance in a few different ways. But anyway, I hope you have a great Monday night. I will be back on Wednesday for another instance of Good Ass Feed for you, and I'll hope to catch you then. Until then, take care of yourself, stay safe, and most importantly, whatever you're doing, try to enjoy it, will you? Thanks. I'll catch you next time. Thanks, Roy. Cheers, dude. Seriously, I appreciate you, man. Good night.